Getting my water as high up as I can. Says it's easy, be no issue.
Smash that like button. Woo!
Like and subscribe.
And there it is, fantastic Refuge Golese, where I stayed. But you get a fantastic view. I don't think it was particularly busy. Probably takes 58, probably only 20 people there. But we start again. The refuge has its own little marker, 1650 metres. And this is what we've got this morning. Good morning. Today is day 30. So, day 29. Got caught in a thunderstorm at the top of a ski slope. Hid in a shed. That was a blowy day. The storm came over. The impact, to be honest, it's 10-15 degrees cooler this morning than it's been. So that hopefully will make it a bit easier. But up and over 3 or 4 coals. Came down, stayed in a refuge. Meant I did a sort of 26k day, which is, I think, quite good in the Alps. You can always walk 14 hours if you want to, but I'm not going to. And today is day 30. Up and down, and I'm trying to stay in a campsite, which I think will give me 2.5 days to Chamonix. And I've really only got 2 days of food, so I should be able to find some other stuff on the way. But as always, let's see where the day takes us. I don't need water because I've already got water, but this is the first water source of the day, coming out of the hills somewhere. Just looking at the peaks and the rock structure. Down into the forest. As always, going down means you just have to go up for a long period of time. Coming all the way up. Just the birds, the bells, and me. Woo. I think there's a builder. Sounds like I got another. Oh my word. Must be something going on today. So when you see what look like tank tracks on the paths up here, the answer is some bloody big vehicles have gone by. I came up over that this morning and I've come down 500-600 metres. And here is the rather beautiful water source. Very nice fountain, but that marks the bottom. So over the next 8 kilometres I've got about 1,200 metres to go up. So it's going to take a long time. Whew. That's what happens in the Alps. You go down and up and down and up. As an example of a starting off point, lots of hikers doing a particular route. Alright, so starting our challenging route, but I've got a dog running backwards and forwards with its stick. It keeps getting in the way, but it's a happy dog. We've come up very quickly from the valley floor on this rocky ascent. Wow, that was silly. Spent 10 minutes going the wrong way because clearly not a lot of people use this path. And when it gets into rocks, it virtually disappears. And I thought I saw a route, but it wasn't. But also there are no markers. So you don't know if your route is the right one or not. Get the app. That's what saved me. When the water is raging, this is where they take you. Ooh. You get to Refuge Golese, it's about 1,500 meters, and this is what you see. And we came up from down there somewhere. And within a few minutes, the refuge has disappeared. Looking back at 1,700 meters. It's always easy to see the path going down. But when you go up, where is it? I'm at 1,900 meters. This is the first bit of semi-permanent snow I've seen. But you've got to go up and over that ridge. It doesn't feel like it as you're coming up. It's where all the bad thoughts are when you're going up. But when you get to almost the lip of the col, that's what your reward is. Probably a kilometre from the col top, but that's the first marker I've seen. I'm on the section where it says there isn't really a path, but it's only about 100 metres. Finally some support over this rocky area. And more snow at the top, although I can more or less follow the footprints. You get to the top and it says go through this. Wow. From there, I've got to go through there on this snow. And about halfway across the snow, you get a sign that way. So I've come across that snowfield. Oh, never done that amount before. I think that's the craziest section I've done on the whole HexaTrek. According to the guide, that's my way down. Shit. And the glacial lake coming into view. So, getting my water as high up as I can. Doesn't look much of a junction, but off to the right are the people that took on the T4 stuff, and straight ahead are people like me who... That's one waterfall. So, the official path is round to the right, but everyone said go round to the left. I met this French couple. He told me how to walk in snow. Says it's easy, be no issue. Right up there, like that. Came down that snow thing, went round an ice bridge, come along, and I got to keep high of this, and then I should be done. Just what a bowl. I've come down and through that col, through a snowfield, and I've come round the left of the lake. And then we've dropped down into the valley, which is still amazing. We've still got melting snow, roughly see where all the paths are. Oh. So it's just a long drag in to my campsite. I think this might be my last little bit on snow. A lot easier than the snow I had on top, and even coming round the lake. So pretty dirty, everyone's been doing it. What a place for a refuge. Don't know how they get stuff up here, but this is what you look out on. This is a steep valley, so I'm not sure how we get down, but we're just going to hit water the whole way. They've made a path through the massive boulders. It's difficult not to take videos. It's ridiculous. What a beautiful waterfall. There's somebody going to go behind it. I didn't notice the arch crossing it, but there you go. As I'm coming down from that refuge, sorry, looking down because I need to concentrate, but as I'm coming down, there are day hikers going up. Almost none of them have any equipment at all, not even a backpack with something in it. And I think they're really underestimating how tough it is to go up 1,600 meters up a glacial valley. The answer is bloody tough. So everybody's asked me how long, how much further, what can you say? But yeah, good that they're out, but I just hope they take a few more things with them. Just look at all the waterfalls coming down the opposite slope. Another refuge, this one tucked at about 1,500 meters. What a beautiful waterfall and plunge pools. The first time I've seen an icon for a while, and now I've got to get across this bridge with bits missing. Ooh, it's a bit bouncy, but I did it. Just a huge rock wall that keeps you in. It's like a lost valley. They really do take you to the end of the valley to then take you down on the other side. Wow, there's a lot of people. Gosh, a whole family coming up. Not sure where they're going because it's a long way to any refuge. So we're eventually dropping into this valley, and I assume beyond that green bit at the end there's some accommodation. You can smell the sheep a mile off, but I haven't seen any dogs. Oh, that's some good bridges. Here's a smart one. Ooh. I saw these guys earlier doing a video. This bridge is a little bit wiggly for what they need. On reflection, I think most people are just coming up to the end of the valley and then turning around and going back again. And down from there, this is thickness of snow. Wow, cool Everglade. A mighty bridge, and that gets me on the other side of the river, and I think onto a road. I'm not playing about with this bridge. Huge number of sheep, a few bells, but no dogs. Can't see any dogs. I mean, there are loads. I think you guys have got some serious horns. So I turn up at the Pelly campsite, and Lucie's there already, and a Dutch girl called Babs. So not too bad.
Smash that like button. Woo!
Like and subscribe.